As you can see, we are back. I have been through this battle before, as you saw on the stream. I am, as you can see at the bottom, in Unchained Mode. I'm going to try to just let the system take care of this because, as some of you know, I'm not a huge fan of this game anymore. And now the thing with auto battle, though, I will give it, is that you do have to be within a certain range. And I still can move around at my own decision. I'm moving in to get the auto battle started to avoid certain obstacles here. Just of my own accord, just because it does give me something to do. Now, I had considered only taking care of this video. Like, this auto battle is actually very terrible at getting fucking legions to do their job sometimes. Go attack thingy. It's deciding of its own accord what to do, and not always ideal. But I do have infinite revives on this mode. So it's not necessarily the smartest AI on all circumstances. It's got its limits. Come on. Stop. It's changing the legions also of its own accord, so sometimes I'm trying to do something and it's like, ah. Wow, Beast got there. And auto battle was like, nah, let's change it. Auto battle not always the best at dodging, so I'm having to give it a little help. Noah Core was a pain for me. Jesus, forgot about that. So it's something of a pill itself. And well, like I say, I hated to have to do this, and I hated. Wow, thanks, auto battle. Infinite revives at least, so I can't game over. I can just let it pound away at itself until it's over. I'm sure if you guys have been keeping up with any of my stuff until now on this game, it started off so wonderful. I was happy. It was just, it owned its anime-ness. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, even if it's not like the most... Oh my god. Arrow. For fuck's sake. Arrow, could you hit the target? Thank you. You're a special one, aren't you? Stop, change. Wow. Stop changing the Legion. Jesus. That's the only problem with auto battle is it doesn't seem to know what it wants to do. Noah Core kill itself if we just let it be involved in this mess? But yeah, it was fun until it wasn't. That'll refill our life. You can see this bullshit on the last stream if you really want to go through it. We're just here to get through this game, and I'm gonna post it as an uploaded vid because, you know, I just feel like there's not a point in making a stream for this either. I don't even think I'm gonna do file 12. It didn't give us the life for it, but oh well. So, to an extent, I might still be involved in a little bit of the battling. I think I've proven I could battle to, you know, I might not be the best at it, but for fuck's sake, this fight I found to be bullshit. I found a few people that were like, oh, I guess I lucked out, I didn't end up struggling too bad, or I got through it in a couple of tries. I was gonna try on casual, but because I replayed another file on standard to rank it had me switched over and I didn't realize it. And so I'd started this file again, and I was like, why did I get ranked on that battle? And then when I switched, it reset everything I did. I had leveled up a bunch of legions, and I had done a lot of work just to try to prepare for a battle in casual mode. And it was just... and it resets everything. Every time you change anything, and you can't even load an old save because it keeps auto-saving over all of your manual saves. So I don't even understand the point of having it available if it's just gonna fucking auto-save over it. The only other thing I could think of is if somehow I could save in one of the... they give you 2 slots. But at that point, you know, it's, you know, what's done is done, and I was just kind of like, no thanks anymore. I'm quite done. And whoa, there's where he went. That does way less damage, which means that probably would have done a lot. He would be doing less damage in casual mode as well than he was doing in standard. I would get more revives, but yeah, it was to the point where just even starting up this game was flustering me and frustrating me so much just to even have to turn it on, that I was forgetting things that I was going to do and prep for and ways I was going to prep. And so, I don't know, I guess I really wanted to love this game, and I really was trying to enjoy it. And I did. After a while, I had to try. And before, it was just more like, well, yeah, that character is irritating, I don't like them, but like in a way that you always have those characters you love, the characters you hate. Screw that attitude. But my problem became as time went that the battle system that at first was interestingly complex and dynamic became tedious and gimmicky. The characters never developed. You have these characters that you get this brief glimpse into. Here's how we're going to try to build this relationship, and really around the idea of Max. Everything was built around Max, and then they did Max the disservice of not only killing him off, but of like doing so in the most abrupt way, and then never really giving him the highlights for him. Like, everything was like, oh, here's how, like, in that immediately following segment and file, you got, you know, here's how I loved Max, and here's how me and Max met, and here's, you know, and then that was it. That was it. We get, like, that itty-bitty cutscene at the beginning of all of this that has his legion reminding us of him, and we can make the implication that there's some stored memories or personality within the Axe Legion now. But we're not gonna get any payoff. They're like, nah, what's done is done. He's gone, and the only character that we gave any sort of personality or arc to, we're not going to touch again in any meaningful way. And the rest of the characters that we were building up around that, we did that tiny little bit, and then we just kind of dismissed them because now you're kicked out of the service. You know, the director, commander dude had his bullshit that he did, and so then you don't see anybody else from near on until the end of the game, and it's like I gotta get my character up to that. But, you know, and maybe I'm over-explaining because I'm trying to feel like maybe I should explain. But nah, what it is this game just really became hot garbage. It became hot garbage. I was enjoying this fight when I first started. I was like, man, that's gonna be a struggle. And then it became very, very obvious, very, very quickly that this fight was not meant to be a struggle and a challenge. It was just meant to be bullshit. And there's some people that are like, oh no, you know, there's tougher fights with the secret bosses that you can find, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't make this one not bullshit. They made him a damage sponge. You can see even here in Unchained, he's just such a damage sponge. And so even if you're managing to get by, it's just takes so long that inevitably it's hard not to falter. I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, well, I could try to build up my legions a little bit. Look at this, look at what they've got you doing. Like, I don't mind, like, just over-the-top insane fights, but make it a little bit, like, doable without having to go through just such frustration. And I would love to be this skilled. I would love to know what the fuck I needed to do different. And like I said, I was gonna try, but the way this game sets itself up, it kept, every time I made a little bit of a mistake, it had to kind of go back to fix that, or go back somewhere. You can't just be like, oh, I gotta go buy some healing items. You can't be like, oh, I forgot to set this up. Let me just redo my save. Oh, you auto-saved over it, so now I'm just screwed. Okay, never mind. So... I don't know. It became such an exercise in tedium to deal with this piece of shit. So like I said, I'd really like to just be able to be done with it, and but we were so close to the end, I wanted to be able to provide what the hell happened. And the final boss music, I mean, it's dope. What happens if we just say no? Like, can we is there anything over here? How is this building not, like, completely wrecked and destroyed? Dude, I will laugh if there's something over here to get. I can't believe it's letting me wander off. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just wandering off. I'm like, nah, it's cool. We don't need to finish the final boss. Oh, they're like, quick, before he gets away. And I'm like, ooh, look at the thing over here. Hey, is there any treasure chests I could pick up? I wonder if there is over there. No, I don't want to wander too close. What if I wander too close and it makes me not just fuck around? We're gonna look. This is happening, you guys. This is so happening. Can I, Got my little healing bubble there. It's like, you're healing 3, 3, 3. It comes in 3s. Dude, reward me. Give me something. Give me a thing. Give me something. Like, make this worth it. Make it just hilarious by putting something. Give me a treasure chest. God, you suck, game. You really do suck balls. Like, don't let me wander and then not give me jack diddly fucking squat. But boy, they'll just let you do this all day, won't they? Yeah, well, I said it started off great. I was like, hey, all right, cool. We got some shit going on. Hey, look at that likable character dead. Well, they're hinting that he might still be alive, and even if it's like sucks and is really painful, we're probably gonna have to fight him as like, you know, some red-shifted bastard. Nope, just gone. Like, only character worth having around, because they literally gave nobody else any character personality or character development. End it. Okay. I think this has more emotional impact than the other option. Because, I mean, basically right now, that's about as close to our fucking dad as we have. That's pretty fucking spectacular, and I just hate that it's ruined by the fact that I ended up hating the game. Come on, you Super Saiyan bastard. Stab her through the heart. Oh, we don't even get to see it. And there we go. Roll credits on that. Yes, there's a file 12, but you don't get any fucking story. They just bring back Neuron now with the director gone, and then you get to do some side diddly doos. This is a terrible song. Ooh! Ooh! Oh god, my phone's going off. I'm sorry. Ah! Better song, but yeah. I'm cringing. I'm cringing so hard at this. Ugh. Gag. Oh my god, though. Not recognizing any names right away. Which, I mean, doesn't necessarily surprise me. Like I said, it sounds like they just went the lowest bidder. That English, I kept seeing Jonathan play, and he stayed in English, and I don't see what the problem is. I'm like, it sucks. Like, at least the emotional notes came off, like, it felt like right. But, like, parts in the Japanese where they're kind of angrily shouting, they're kind of whining in English, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure what you were going for there, but it did not hit. And that's if there was any, like, the slightest bit of emotion to the English voice acting. Otherwise, it just rang hollow. These are my fucking pictures. You're trying to pull a Final Fantasy 15 with this song. Wow. Jesus. I mean, I guess if you want to be reminded of the pictures you took, there's something, but it's definitely not emotional like 15's was. But damn that cat. Fuck yes. That is the most precious fucking picture you're gonna ever fucking see. I don't even care who you fucking are. I guess it was worth it to see my dick out cat just lounge cat. Lounge cat is for the win. The fuck was that? It's like, sure, save all the pictures. Fine. Hey, good. Something instrumental. But yeah. Oh shit, did I take that? I feel like these are game photos now. Like, they did them. Like, well, we don't let you store enough photos on your memory card, so now we're gonna do some stock photos. Because we're just like that. They're like, oh yeah, we only let you store 36. That doesn't get us all the way through the credits. Stock photos! Stock photos! Let's do that. Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, and I'm gonna try to say it as calm as I can. Yeah, not great. Not a great end for me. Like, not great since like halfway through the game when I realized that it was getting kind of bad. And I was like, that's okay, we can make it through for the sake of Daddy. See if we can't find something out. Don't get much, although the idea that, like, it's almost like it would have been better maybe if we found out somehow he died, or like we would have maybe given some way better to lead us into him being spiritually in the axe demon. I don't know why I keep trying to say sword, because it looks like a fucking great sword, not an axe. But you know, something that led better into that moment of giving us and indicating better that, you know, Dad is the Axe Legion now, or even just giving us that, like, his spirit is there, not even just like an echo, but like he just, because I mean there is, I mean when we met, there's this whole thing where they all lost. What is with this fucking like static that I'm getting with that song? Anyway, everybody lost control of their legion. The chains were broke, the collars were off. Until your main character recaptures his. But everybody else was still awesome. Max stayed in to fight them off while we escaped. When we find the Axe Legion, the collar and Legatus are attached. So he recaptured it, at least briefly, and that collar and Legatus were still there. So I think that leads into an indication of sorts of something, but to have been given a little bit of a better idea of it would have been nice, or something that touched on it maybe a little, but maybe for me it was just that the way things were going, it was really hard to have that, create that attachment, because there was so many those moments were so few and far between that you couldn't stay connected to them. So maybe that was it, because it just felt like those beats like you almost never had. And then the other problem was that you're building Max up and the relationship with his kids, except that he might as well have one kid. Like I said in one of the streams, this game has your main character has the same issue as the Monster Hunter main character that you make. The handler problem. They have the handler standing in for everything as the main character. When you have a main character, use it. Even if you don't voice it, we've seen them do it in the Persona games. That you have your main character who is a silent protagonist, but they still make them feel like a part of the goddamn game. Same with Link in Legend of Zelda. He doesn't talk, but you still feel like he's the main character and that he's involved in these relationships and what's going on in the game. So those games do it right. This one, and same, like I said, as Monster Hunter World, has the handler issue of, okay, well, we need somebody to voice that. Well, why didn't you just voice the goddamn main character then? If you were going to have somebody stand in as their voice and their persona, because then that ruins the whole thing. You have all the, and the fact that I did not like the twin sibling, ever, at all. I had no, like, connection, no relation, and all they did was irritate me the whole game. Then yeah, having them be the stand-in and doing all the talking, all the flashback scene when they find the dad's, like, photo album and the Logotis after you get the Axe Legion, it's just her voicing her opinion and, you know, having her little memories and her character talking in the flashback with dad. You might as well not be there. They ruined that by doing that. So again, they had a lot of great ideas that were playing out fine at the beginning, but about halfway through it just fell apart because of the way they handled it. And so everything kind of came together to kind of turn it into a hot mess. It just, I love the idea of the complexity of the combat, but they overdid it. And then it got gimmicky. They just wanted to make everything a gimmick about what your Legion's special abilities were. And it's like, I'm not in the tutorial anymore. Stop having me do it just for the sake of doing it. Like I'm gonna fucking forget. They're like, well, we put them there, so now we gotta make a reason to use them. That's what it felt like, more than a natural occurrence of the game setting and environment. So it, there's just a lot of shit that fell apart. And like I said, I didn't really like that. Is the idea of the complexity of the boss at the end was nice, but the way they handled it turned it to shit. And like I said, it's, I wanted to, like, set up my legions and make it better and do this and do that, but every time I changed anything and every time I fucked something up and had to go back and redo, I had to redo everything because it wouldn't let me just save, because it would just fuck it up. So, you know, you can't do anything without resetting everything you ever did. So, like I said, hot mess. Hot fucking mess. Let's be done with this. I don't want a female voice. I have like 4 female voices and a goddamn 1 male. I don't want... I've had enough ladies harping at me this whole goddamn game. Give me daddy's voice. But you don't get that one until you, like, complete, like, everything. And it's just like, what's the point by then? You're gonna have finished the game on every difficulty level, every file, have everything, so why would you want the voice now? Load a save file with finished game data. Alright. So all I gotta do is go here and load. We're gonna check this out. Like, yeah, like I said, this game handles everything so poorly. They're like, hey, you want all these, like, really cool outfits, you want these really cool voices, you want, like, all these great things that you can have during you know, your playthrough. I'll finish everything that you could ever possibly do in the game and then have it once you've done everything there is to do. So now there's not a point in having it anymore. Fucking great game. Like, way to go. Like, how did you not plan that better? A month has passed. Alright, let's find out what's going on. Fewer gates. Troubles aren't over. ジンさんとアリシアさんを中心に再始動したネウロン部隊は司令官不在となった今、オリーブが一人で切り盛りしてくれている。よく考えると、これまでも彼女がしていたと言っても過言ではないかもしれない。Okay, so all of us basically the interim slash replacement commander. Whether anybody wants her to or not. Fucking Marie. 人が住める土地を取り戻したいと静かに語っていた。春はネウロンには戻らず、あれ以来姿を見せなくなった。噂では第09地区の復興を目指し、ハーミットと共に何かを始めたらしい。彼のことだ。ひょうひょうとした調子で現れる。そんな予感がしてならない。そして、アキラはあの日、ノアと共に消滅した。だが、彼女は今もここにいる。そして、彼女は何も知らない。これから先も知ることはないだろう。
レギオンがつなぎ止めてくれた残滓。それでも構わない。彼女と共に今日もキメラと戦う。いつの日か真の平和をつかみ取れると信じた。
So we get a cop
そ
out
れを願った人たちのためにも。
that she's still there, like, because clone. Oh, the clone has her memories. She just doesn't exactly remember what happened 1 month ago, but like. Now, is this one gonna let you move between all the areas that are with the files? Because if not, then that's bullshit. Like, but I have no idea. Like. Wow. So, I mean, like, because I kind of have this attachment to Max that just didn't get to pan out. And it's kind of sad because I kind of feel these tugs when it's like, oh, I know someone who would have wanted it that way, or having Max be, you know, the fucking Legion, and it's like, oh, like, I can feel it wanting to be there. God, I loved Max. And then they just did my boy wrong. Like, he was the only one that had a chance at being good. Nobody sucked. Kind of we're talking to, as far as I can tell. I don't know. Let's go to a safe house. We'll just kind of poke around a little bit. Kind of get a feel for what's up. And this song just makes me think of Max. Like, and I'm just like, ah. Hey, you. Got all my kitties. This one's following me? Is that one following me? And that one playing with the can still. Yeah, I love that, like, you add the cats, they have their places, they hang out. So, let's go back to the command room. Let me just see what, like, let's see what's going on if I talk to, all of them. Okay, so chat. Okay, and then so what we can do is we can check cases. So what do you got? We've got a case menu. Okay, so it's going to take us to the different zones here. Zone 36 and Astral Plane. Alright, 2, alright, 1, Zone 9. So yeah, that's a thing. It's gonna be probably just, I don't think we're gonna get much out. We might have something like, if, yeah, say we go to Zone 9, it doesn't really give us a detail. If I like say this, start this case, no, okay. Maybe I don't get any details until I start it, and then we might get a few, be like, hey, go here and do a thing. Yay. If I just go in fucking slot B. And then, like, slot A as well. Like, just do it on both. And then maybe we'll only auto-save on one, and I could potentially use the other. I don't know. What is my playstyle? Unchained. Casual. Can I say casual? Okay, I can change at least to casual from there. Okay, cool. Without, like, resetting the goddamn case file. So... there's that. I don't know, maybe I'm just... maybe I got just really sick of the game in a way that I just couldn't appreciate anything about it anymore. Maybe I... but maybe, you know, it is just a crap game. I guess, you know, you don't have to have an excuse to not like a game. It just, for whatever reason, became something... and it wasn't the whole game. Like I said, it wasn't from start to finish that I hated it. It's just that eventually... it got to me, like, nothing was paying off, the pace was terrible, the story was already lacking enough, there's no character development, what character development they potentially had got squandered. And then by the time I just hit the final boss, I was like, the last thing I needed was a bullshit boss fight. Fuck you, game. So, I'm probably gonna trade this in. I can get probably about 40 bucks for it, close to, and then pick up Tokyo Mirage Sessions, because that game, I loved it back in the day. There was a couple of times I got frustrated because of the difficulty spike that I experienced, but that was an unsung hero of the Wii U. That was a fantastic game, and the fact that they came out with a sort of definitive edition of it that added some things in and all of that, I really enjoyed it. So I definitely want to check that out, be able to pick it up and play it again and see the changes that they did. And that was sort of my first foray into, that game was the first time I played anything that could be considered, because in Japan it's called SMT Cross Fire Emblem, basically, FE. But here they call it Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, which is like the worst thing to have to call it, because none of that rolls off the tongue. I was like, great, we fucked that title hard. That's a case of the opposite of what they usually do. They usually give it the complex titles in Japanese that mean something, and then like over here they're just like, it's a thing. Like, keep it simple for the stupid Americans. That time, they just totally fucking switched it. And I was like, how did we... And I think it was because they didn't want people associating it with either of those games that are typically considered difficult. And especially since it literally has no resemblance except for maybe like the dungeoning. Like the fact it's sort of got that Persona-esque, you know, you got your story segment and your dungeon segments and your socializing and your relationships, and then like the dungeons have that sort of vibe, I guess, and then like all the like moves and items and things like that, and then just some Fire Emblem characters that are based on Fire Emblem characters. So in essence, I get it in a way, but then they just like made it such a mouthful to say. Anyway, fantastic game, and it was my first kind of dabble into either one of those universes. And from there, when Persona 5 came out, I was like, fuck it, let me try it. And then I fell in love, so I got Royal on the way at the end of the month. And I also went back and bought a PS Vita just to play Persona 4 Golden. So, pretty fantastic. But now we're not even talking about this game anymore. I'm not entirely sure I'm glad I played it, but at least I finished it, so I don't have to sit here and be bothered by the fact that I got to the final boss and then never finished the fucking game. And that probably would have bothered me more than just letting it auto battle for me through the boss fight. Oh well. It's done. I don't have to worry about it anymore, and I can take it in today and get a game that I know I like. God, watch it. I'm gonna get that game, and I loved it. I loved it, but watch, for some reason I'm just gonna fucking hate it. That, or I'm gonna suck so bad at it that I have to hate it. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like I've had such bad luck with the last couple of games I played, just frustrating the hell out of me, that I'm like, is it me? Is there something wrong with me? And I shouldn't have to feel that way. I should not have to feel bad about disliking a game, but I also should not feel so frustrated that I'm wondering what's wrong. Like, I shouldn't get that. Like, if I just don't like it, I should just not like it. But, yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just something in my head lately, and so maybe I just need to kind of reset, reevaluate. But it's fucking weird. It makes me, like, just second guess everything and hate myself a little bit for being frustrated. And because I just want to have a good time with you guys. I just want to have a good time with you guys. That's all. So, I guess let's do that. Let's reset and try again. How about that? I'll see you guys for the next Let's Play or next stream, whatever you're here to enjoy. Hopefully enjoy. I do appreciate any support you're giving, or any views, or anything that you're checking out. Like, I always appreciate it. Welcome to leave some comments about your experience with the game. Are you into these kind of games even? I know sometimes anime is an automatic turnoff for a lot of people, and this one was like just super fucking anime. We did all the anime things. So, but yeah, again, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.